At that time, some Pharisees came to Jesus and said to him, "Leave this place and go somewhere else. Herod wants to kill you." He replied, "Go tell that fox, I will keep on driving out demons and healing people today and tomorrow, and on the third day I will reach my goal. In any case, I must press on today and tomorrow and the next day, for surely no prophet can die outside of Jerusalem. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you who kill the prophets and stone those who sent you. How often I have longed to gather your children together as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, and you were not willing. Look, your house is left to you desolate. I tell you, you will not see me again until you say, 'Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord.'" Before getting to the main point of my sermon today, I want to look at a secondary point. And it's about the Pharisees. We always think of the Pharisees as being the enemies of Jesus. And yet think about today's gospel. Who is it that warns Jesus about the threat of Herod, how Herod wants to kill Jesus? It's the Pharisees. That says to me that not all Pharisees were against Jesus. Some supported Jesus. So often we want to stereotype people, make them all the same, say they have all the same beliefs, say they all want the same things. But every group is made up of individuals. And no two individuals are alike. So this says to me, let's be careful about stereotyping people, especially in this political season, presidential primaries, and especially with our war on terrorism. Not all Muslims are terrorists. The mosque right down south of Perrysburg off of Schreier Road. I know many of the people down there. I was a director of the Council of Churches for a while in the early 2000s. And where the World Trade Centers came down. I worked with them and the Jewish people and the Christian people here in Toledo in this area. And it was really my first close-up experience with Muslims. And I found that all the Muslims down there were ashamed of what happened and saw it as an evil and not something that God would want. And I could see they had all integrated themselves into our American society. Most of them were already United States citizens and substantial people in our community, doctors, teachers, lawyers. And their respect for women was also shown. And the freedoms that all of them had, they cherished very much. So don't lump all Muslims together. Don't take, who is it, Cruz that says radical terrorists, Islamic terrorists or something like that. Only a very few are terrorists. Or Watch out on what Trump says, or what Hillary says, or what Bernie says. This remark that Bernie makes about Hillary Clinton being in league with the Wall Street brokers. The remark that Trump makes about Cruz, suggesting maybe he is not a United States citizen and therefore couldn't be president. Don't stereotype people. That's where we get in trouble. That's how all wars start. You got to make all the people in the country bad. And then the killing starts. That's one point I wanted to make this morning. The Pharisees say Herod wants to kill Jesus. They warn Jesus about that. And Jesus comes back and calls Herod that fox. You heard Kathy explain what a fox is like, wanting to go after the chicks and the chicken, the mother hen. But what does Jesus do? Jesus calls him a fox, and then he says, even though he's dangerous, I'll go my own way. Tell that fox that I perform miracles, that I drive out demons, and I will do that today and tomorrow, and on the third day I will reach my goal. And what Jesus is saying, nothing will dissuade him from his purpose. The mission that God has given to him. That mission of healing, of forgiving, of loving, of showing to people not only that this is his mission, but this is God's mission. To heal, to forgive, to love. And nothing's going to keep him from it. Not even Herod. In fact, Jesus has contempt for Herod. He calls him that fox. Yes, foxes are dangerous, but foxes prey on the weak, on the small, on those who can't defend themselves. And he's saying that Herod is that kind of fox. He's not a lion. That's the king of the jungle. That's the Roman emperor. That's what real powerful kings are. They are lions. But Herod is only a fox. He's a puppet ruler. He serves at the pleasure of the emperor. The emperor, the lion, takes his fill. And Herod the fox only gets the leftovers. Only the little things that are left. And any time that the emperor wants, he can get rid of Herod. And that's what Jesus is saying when you start to think of the implications of the situation at that time when he calls Herod the fox. And after he gets done and shows his contempt for Herod, what's he going to do next? he turns to the people that are around him and to the Pharisees. He says, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, killing the prophets, those who are sent to you to save you. How I would that you would come under my wings, just as a mother hen puts the chicks under her wings. Jerusalem, Jerusalem. That's Jesus' lament. Lament how sad he is that so many of those in the country in his time do not come under God's wings, do not come under his wings. So the chicken hawk, as somebody said, cannot attack them, so that sin and evil and death cannot prevail. Because Jesus is the protector. Jesus is the one who puts his body on line between evil and between good, between ourselves and the devil. And he laments that so many don't see that so many don't come under his wings. The Jews, the people who knew God the best, who had experienced so much of God's salvation in the Exodus, in the parting of the Red Sea, in the Passover. The Jews who were closest to God, and yet so far, far away. God is crying. Jesus is crying, lamenting their situation. How I would bring you under my wings, but you would not. You were not willing. Are you willing? Are you willing? Are you going to see that little Henry being baptized today learns about how Jesus protects? Are you willing, not just Katie and Skip, but the whole congregation here, are you willing to bring little Henry under your wings? To show him love? To show him forgiveness? To show him acceptance? To show him Jesus? Yeah, it's not rhetorical. Yeah. Yes.
Raise your hands and
Okay.
praise the Lord.
Okay. Okay.
Pentecostal. Didn't go into. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to say anything more. Amen.